Morning, guys. How's everyone doing? Morning. Welcome. From another stream. What's up, Kevin? From Lakeland. Duval. BBPY. That's what happens, man. They're smart. You got to offer shares. When that stuff happens to these stocks, they're going to offer shares. It happens all the time. They got to raise money. Morning. How's everyone doing? What's up, Fareed? Thanks for the Amazon play. Yeah, Amazon was nice. I think it's probably over-ish, so I'm not in it anymore. But, yeah, it's starting to hold that 127 level. We'll talk about that one today. What's up, Chef? What's up, guys? All right. Morning. So, yesterday we got pretty much exactly what we talked about in the pre-market live stream. So if you guys were here, you guys know we talked about the bear flag on the market, the potential for a bear flag breakdown, and that is exactly what we got. So very nice. Congrats, guys, if you caught that. That was a really clean play, really nice setup, and let's see what we can get today. I would hope, for some more price action today. Yesterday was definitely nice. We definitely got we went straight down. I haven't painted the room yet. Yeah, I'll get to it. Don't worry. I'll get to painting my room for everyone in the live stream. But yeah, so very nice downside, very clean move. Congrats, guys, if you caught that. Today, we got some more stuff to watch out for. It might be choppy if we have a trading range that we are currently in. So if we trade in this range, it might be a little bit of a choppy day. But we'll definitely look for some stuff. I'll share with you guys some levels that I'm watching, as always. And we'll do the same thing that we do every single day, 5 days a week, as long as the market's open, as long as I'm not at a wedding, as long as I'm not on a bachelor party, we'll be here. So, all right, let's do it. Last day of August, guys, August 31st. Hope everyone had a good August. Mine was good. I had a good first week and a good last week. The middle weeks of August were crap for me. So I had a good first and last week, which is good. Happy about that. But the middle weeks were pretty crappy, but that's okay. So futures, as always, economic earnings calendar. Today we do have a little bit on the calendar. Here we go. Let's pull that up real quick. Today we have ADP employment report at 8:15. And then we have at 9:45, so 15 minutes into open, we have the Chicago manufacturing PMI. So we could see some volatility around these events. The ADP employment report, Chicago manufacturing PMI, I would watch in that area, okay? So watch out for that. Thursday, tomorrow, September 1st, we got jobless claims. That's normal stuff. Normal stuff here. We got U.S. manufacturing PMI tomorrow at 9:45. So some manufacturing PMI today and tomorrow. And then Friday is our normal non-farm payrolls, unemployment rate, average hourly earnings, labor force participation. So nothing crazy, but just watch out. We always want to be aware of these events. You always want to make sure you know what's coming out, just in case there's volatility, that you're prepared for it. So 8:15 and 9:45 today, you have two economic events. Okay. Pull this up. This is earnings. We had nothing crazy. I mean, we had CrowdStrike yesterday. Didn't really do much. This morning, nothing crazy either. So for earnings, I'm pretty much checked out. I mean, I'm not really interested in any of this. We can watch out for them. Lululemon is a stock in my long term, so I'll keep an eye on that. But besides that, earnings is pretty light. All right. Tesla 280, big level here. Tesla 280. Definitely a level I'm watching for possible rejection today. If there's weakness in the market, this is an awesome previous support into a rejection. So watch Tesla. Tesla got crushed yesterday. I'm not sure exactly what caused the underperformance on Tesla yesterday, but it was getting crushed midday. I may have missed some news, or we just got some really aggressive selling, maybe from someone big. Maybe Elon was selling. I don't know. But the selling, the way Tesla looked, intraday was weaker than anything else I saw. It was a very weak move. So Tesla 280 rejection, definitely watching that. Costco, we talked about Costco yesterday. What a perfect rejection on Costco. I'll share this with you guys today. Apple moved down to fill the gap on the daily chart, and it held that exact level. So Apple gap fill is definitely something to watch. It's filled the gap. What does it do here at this level? That's going to be key. AMD hit my target around that 85 level. I want to show you guys this today. It's possible square rejection that I'm watching today as well. Amazon, we're going to talk about Amazon at 127. And then finally, CL. I want to show you guys CL. This is the oil futures. Oil futures took a pretty nice dive yesterday, under 95, and it's definitely hurting the energy sector. So we could see a little bit of slowdown there. And then finally, this morning, Meta is probably up the most on my watch list in the pre-market. And it seems like this is because it's tapping that demand down below, and I want to share it with you guys once again. I know we've looked at Meta a lot, but I want to keep this stock and I want to keep this play on your radar. So that's what I got for today's show, today's live stream. We'll obviously, pepper in a few more tickers here and there, but let's get started. Nasdaq. So 4-hour chart on Nasdaq. We're in a little bit of a trading range, guys, and we saw the perfect rejection yesterday, the perfect bear flag breakdown. This was just an awesome break, retest into the previous highs. You can see the previous rejection here, the previous rejection here, and we just retested that level perfectly and rejected it perfectly. So if we go to the hourly chart, or actually let's go 30-minute, we can see this even better. There's your green area. That's your previous rejection point. And just look how perfect this was, guys. Perfect bear flag, right into the 100 SMA, right into the previous rejection point, and just in textbook bear flag breakdown. That was beautiful. Really nice setup. We talked about that yesterday. So now we're watching the Nasdaq within this trading range between around 12.2 and around 12.6. So about a 400-point trading range. It's going to be interesting today. I would watch for some of these previous lows to turn into rejections on the Nasdaq right around this 12.5 area. So I would watch for maybe yesterday's lows, yesterday's pre-market. I'm sorry, this is Monday. Monday's lows, Monday, sort of consolidation here around 12.5. I would look for that to turn into a rejection once again today. That would be my first thing I'm watching. You could be setting up. It would be crazy, but you could be setting up another bear flag. You absolutely could be setting up another bear flag here on the Nasdaq. You're pushing back into previous lows. This is your previous low. You're pushing right into it. And do you find another rejection here and another bear flag? It's definitely on my radar. I will definitely be watching for that to happen. You also have the 50 SMA above around 550 and the 100 SMA above around 600. I'm not even considering long positions here, guys. I have to be honest with you, until I see a break over this 12.6. There's just really no reason. There's no reason to get bullish here until you see this break, this retest, and this continuation. I mean, you're basically just fighting against the 50 SMA, you're fighting against the 100 SMA, and you're fighting against a major rejection point at 12.6. I just don't see the reason to be bullish here until I see this, right? Until I see this supply get broken, until I see us start to push above that, then I'll switch to look for upside. But until I see that, these look very weak. These bounces look weak for now. There's total opportunity to reject here again. So I like thinking like this because it gives me clear guidelines. It gives me the guardrails for me. I say, okay, I'm not bullish until this break. So I know that I'm not going to be biased to the upside until I see this breakout. And if we're trading in this channel, I'm going to stay a little bit patient. And if we start to see this breakdown, then I get aggressive on the downside. So very nice, easy channel to sort of watch today between 12.6 and 12.2. You're sort of, just channeling in between here, similar to what you did back here. If you reject Monday's lows and you find that bear flag again, watch out for that move down to that 12.2. Clear level to get bullish. There's just really no reason about. You could try to catch it, right? I'm not saying there's not opportunity here. You could try to catch that move into 12.6. There is opportunity. That's about 200 points on the Nasdaq. It's about 1.5%. So obviously calls will increase if you catch that move. Do I want to, try to play calls into this supply? Not really. Not really. I'd rather have a clean trade setup. I'd rather look for this. I'd rather look for this, and I'd rather have a clean trade setup. The trade setup yesterday was just the perfect bear flag into a previous rejection. And that's that. All you have to do is wait for clean setups, guys, right? You wait for one clean setup, and you get a huge trade, right? Very nice. Yesterday, I made a lot of money on SPX just trading this clean trade setup, and that's all you need. So right now, you're channeling on the Nasdaq. You need a 12.6 break for upside, and if you see a bear flag, you probably could see that 12.2. All right? The ES is even cleaner today, guys, and I'll show you why. So here's the 4-hour. We talked about the previous lows here on the ES. We pushed into them yesterday, into the 100 SMA. We rejected it. We had the bear flag. Very nice. Hourly chart is really nice as well today. So I'm going to pull up the hourly chart, and you're going to see exactly what I'm looking at here. So you can see yesterday, let me zoom in here, make it clear. Yesterday, you pushed into the 100. You rejected it. You created a bear flag. Very clean breakdown. Very nice. This morning, last night, where did you push into? You pushed right into the previous lows. These are the previous lows. You pushed right into them. Where did you reject? It's just perfect. Where did you reject on the ES? Right here this morning, or last night, futures trading overnight this morning. Perfect. Previous lows into a very clean rejection. And not only that, what is the yellow line on your screen? That is the 50 SMA on the daily chart. So that is just textbook stuff here, guys, so far on the ES this morning. Obviously, these levels could be broken and sort of invalidate the technicals. But looking at this chart, I just don't see anything quite bullish. I see a breakdown. I see a rejection. I see an attempt to push back into the previous lows. We rejected it very cleanly. We are holding this 39.80 area, so I would be careful shorting into this. There could be some demand down here to watch out for. You're trading in a little bit of a range. But if I see us sort of maybe double top here and reject once again, watch out for that breakdown. If you can get over the 50 SMA, then maybe you see a little bit more momentum towards that 100. But this is just not an environment where I'm going to try to, long into these supplies. It's just not the environment, in my opinion. There's nothing quite bullish about, the last 2 days of price action. I need to see something more serious. I need to see probably a push above the 40.80, right? I need to see a clear push. If I go back to the 4-hour, the only time I would get, actually bullish here on the ES is if I saw something like this. A clear move above 40.80, a retest, turn it into support, and then I can go long, right? That's the clear setup. You could try to buy dips. You could try to get the dip buy. But if I'm just trusting the technicals here, if I'm just watching the technicals here, I just don't see it. It's, lower lows, lower highs, previous lows into a rejection. I would, you don't want to be too biased, but if you're just sort of reading the technicals here, trying to buy dips right now just seems a little bit tough. I think you're working against the market. So 50 SMA is at 40.17. 100 SMA is at 40.60. You got a huge rejection point up at 40.80. And, watch out for that. Watch out for that. SPY 419 end of day. Hey, man, if you want to try to, guess where it goes, sure. If you want to try to guess where this goes, sure. Here's the SPY. I'll show you. So this is the same thing on the SPY, guys. 401 previous lows into a rejection. If you get above it, maybe you can get a push. If you get above this, there's probably some upside, right? If you can see this, I'm sure there is some upside here today. If you maybe get a push into yesterday's highs, yesterday's highs, yesterday's open, totally possible, right? I'm not saying that this move is not possible. What I'm saying is if you want a real easy trade setup where you're not sort of fighting against or guessing if this moves higher, you either want to see a break above this pre-market high, little retest, maybe you push it into that. But for me, personally, I don't like to, I'm not going to try to guess where this goes. I need to see at least a break over these highs here, around 406, get a 406 breakout, something like this, get a retest, and then start moving this thing higher. So that's what I'll be looking for upside. If we don't get that, I'll continue to look for downside. No, SPX is the same thing. Guys, ES, SPX, and SPY are all the exact same thing. The SPY is the ETF. The ES is the futures contract. And the SPX is the index, the S&P 500 index. Okay? All right. YM, Dow Jones. Let's go ahead and take a look at this. So the Dow Jones, if I zoom in here, you guys can see, I'm going to delete that. I'm going to delete this. I'm going to delete that. We're just going to focus in where the Dow is holding. So the Dow is holding right at these previous lows. You can see that's where the demand is stepping in, around that 31,800 level. Very clean, right? You can see right here, previous lows, very nice. Previous support, previous support. 1 hour chart. If we go to the 1 hour chart, you guys can see we are turning the previous lows into a rejection point. Right there. Perfect. Previous lows into a rejection. I mean, it is textbook this morning. So right there, right here, previous lows into a rejection. That's exactly what you're going to be watching out for. So watch out for that. Have fun being scared. Okay. Why are you here? Goodbye. So previous lows into a rejection, 3,200 or 32,000. Watch out for that. That would be your area of a possible rejection. Being scared. I mean, what am I scared of? Oh my God. So 32,000. That's your level, guys. If you can get above that today, right? If you can see a Dow over 32,000, and then maybe a hold here, then maybe you could try to get some longs, right? If you can see that, that would be my long. If you want to see, if you want to hear me talk bullish today, if I'm making people upset, if I'm hurting people's feelings that I don't see long opportunities, then I'll talk a little bit bullish for you. So if you want to get some bullish action, then look for the break above 32, and then look for, hey, Roscoe, welcome, Roscoe. Thanks for supporting the stream. If you want to see some bullish action, 32,000 on the Dow, and you need to hold that, right? If you go to the ES, it's the same thing. If you want to get some bullish action, you got to get a break above the 50. You got to get above this 4,014, and you got to hold it as a retest, right? So previous rejections into support, right? If you need to see, if you feel nice and cozy for long positions, that's what I would be looking for. 4,014. Okay? Watch out for that, guys. That would be your long area. A break above this pre-market rejection point. But again, right, you still need to be careful of, that's why I say this, because you still need to be careful of all of this, right? So I just don't, I don't quite see it, but it's possible. It's possible. Anything's possible in this market. Anything is possible in this market. All right, here's the Russell. What's the Russell doing? It's the exact same thing, guys. You can see previous lows into a rejection. Just really technical, clean stuff. Previous lows into a rejection. And you can see we are holding that 150 SMA. So that is something to watch. You can see we're trying to find some demand down here. So if you want to go long on the Russell, then I would look for, this sort of hold. If you want to go short on the Russell, I would look for the break of the 50 and the 100. Yeah, we just got some ADP employment report data. Let me go quick to that. Let me get quick to the ES and see what we're looking at. Yeah, I'm terrified now. I'm terrified. So, yeah, a little bit of a pop off that. Nothing crazy. Guys, please don't take what I'm saying as like it's like the stock market is only going to go one direction. I'm just sharing with you guys the technical levels that are on the screen. So you can see if we do get upside here on the market this morning, you need to see a break above this 50. You need to get a break above the previous lows. If you do and you hold it as a demand, then maybe you can see that upside. Same thing on the Nasdaq, right? If you get a break above the previous lows, which you're pretty damn close to it, you're right around this, I would say around this 12.5 would be your level. If you can get above that 12.5, if you can turn it into a demand, and then you can maybe push into the yesterday's highs. So 12,600 would be the area to watch out for. Then up here around 40.70, 40.80 would be the area to watch out for on the ES. So just look for yesterday's previous day lows and this morning's pre-market rejection. That's the major level to watch here across all of the names. all of the names. Okay. All right, so that's the futures, guys. Pretty clean technical stuff, right? Pretty clean technical stuff. You got rejections this morning at previous lows. That's going to be your trigger point for upside. That's going to sort of be your balance beam right in the middle. That's the middle of the seesaw, I would say, is this area on the ES. This 50 SMA to me seems to be like that seesaw. If you get above it, if you hold it as support, maybe you get that upside. If you push into it again and you reject once again, then you're sort of still rejecting that middle point. So for me, major watch this morning to sort of get an idea of how I feel on the market for the remainder of the day. 40.15, right? 40.15, 50 SMA. That's what I'd be watching. Okay. Do I think technicals are useful for bonds and oil? I don't. I've never looked at technicals for bonds. For oil, they can be, yes. But oil also moves a lot off macros, so it's tough. Like for CL, 95 is a major rejection point, and it has been for a while. So that's definitely a technical rejection point on oil, right? That's clear. But like for example, if they come out and say that they're cutting supply, this could rip right through it. So that's why technicals are a little bit questionable on oil, because it's very heavily correlated to macroeconomic events. Definitely influence the price quite a bit. All right, Tesla. So depending on what we see in the market today, of course, I definitely am watching this little previous rejection or previous support into rejection on Tesla. Depends on what we see in the market, but if I see this and I see this and I see a breakdown, you guys know this is a break and retest. What happens here today on Tesla? If the market gets weak, this could be a fantastic rejection point off of 280. This is a previous low. This is a previous low. If I zoom in here to the 1 hour chart, you guys can see it a little bit cleaner. Previous low, and you're pushing right into it. So, do you get this? Or are you able to break above 280, turn it into support, and start to push again? That's today's question on Tesla. 280 is a huge level. Let me show you what happened at 280 yesterday. Look at what happened after 280 broke. I mean, this was crazy intraday. Look at that 280 break. Look at that flush candle. And look at the continuation. Look at the continuation off this move. Insane. So congrats if you guys caught this. This was a sick 280 break. So I know that Tesla is going to be hard to break 280. I mean, look at it 3 times this morning. So you can see rejection 280, rejection 280, rejection 280. This is all in the pre-market right now. If we get, a little uptrend into 280 and the market gets weak, this could be a sick rejection point today, guys. I'm not saying this is going to happen 100%. I'm sharing levels, right, that could be potential trade setups. That is how a normal person should take this, right? That is how you should, approach this live stream. You should look for the levels that I shared, see if it works. If it doesn't, then the market's probably pushing higher and you're going to break 280. But I would still make sure to watch this level today. Huge level on Tesla. Costco, sick rejection as well. We talked about this one on the live stream yesterday. We talked about Costco, Walmart, Target. Look at this rejection on Costco. 4 hour chart. Sick rejection right here. Damn. 49.99. 3. Thank you, man. Holy crap. Oh, I'm done for the day. I'll see you guys later. Thanks for being on the live stream. Peace out. Man, wow. Thanks, man. Appreciate that. Thanks for all your support. And thank you for the $49.99. Yeah. I got to talk like Doc. I appreciate you, man. Thank you. So, Costco, really, really textbook stuff here. Look at all these previous support levels. Just support. And look at the breakdown. Look at the rejection. And look at the just really nice stuff here. So, clean rejection. This is what you want to be looking for, guys. If you're looking out there for how to find trades on charts, this is exactly what you should be looking for. This is exactly what you should be looking for. It's the perfect technical trade. It's a previous triple bottom that broke down, that turned into a rejection, that broke down again, that turned into a double top rejection, and just beautiful trade, right? Just support into resistance. That's it. Very rudimentary, very easy. That's what I would be watching, right? So watch out for that. So yeah, watch out for that. That's very clean. I would look for more downside if the market's weak. You guys can see if I go to the 4-hour chart, I would watch for maybe this 515, 516 area for a possible target to the downside. All right? Very clean stuff. Apple. So Apple came down. Apple, we talked about this one in the live stream yesterday, right? We talked about this little bear flag. One of these right there, bear flag, right into the previous support, into a rejection. Look how clean that is. Let me go to the hourly. Here's the hourly on Apple. You guys can see previous support, rejection. Excuse me. So, support, rejection. Perfect on Apple, bear flag. Where did it move down to? You can see we moved right back down to the gap fill level, 157.72. If I go to the daily chart, the gap fill was at 157.64. So it was about 12 cents off, or about, what is that? 10? 8 cents? It was 8 cents off the 8 cents off the gap fill level. So it pretty much filled it, in my opinion. You came right back down to it. You filled that level. Previous highs right here, gap fill level. And Apple clearly tried to hold on to it all day. So I go to the 5-minute chart. Look at this price action on Apple yesterday. Look at how it just held this area. It sort of consolidated within this gap fill. So Apple is going to be influential here, I think, right? If Apple loses that level today, I thankfully think there's going to be downside. If Apple can retain itself above this gap fill level, then maybe look for some continuation here. But that is a really, really clean hold on Apple of the gap fill level. Just know that it's been filled, guys. Just keep that in mind. You could definitely find some demand down here in this 157, 159 area. This could be a very strong demand on Apple to watch for. All right, AMD. AMD. I want more value for my free viewing. That's good. All right, so 4-hour chart. 4-hour chart on AMD. You guys can see right here, previous lows. So we talked about AMD, right, a few times. Let me see here real quick. Let's see if I can pull up what this looked like before. Whatever. I don't care to find that. Anyways, so you guys can see AMD, perfect rejections. Another perfect rejection that we had at 91. You're just continuing to the downside. Semis have been very weak. You're at this previous demand. What happens here today on AMD? This is going to be a huge level for AMD. Does it hold? That's really the big question. Here, even on the daily chart, you can see it. This could be a massive inverse head and shoulder. If you do want to look for that, right? You could see that there on AMD a little bit. So you do have, your previous demand here. You have the breakdown. This is your head, right? You have the shoulder. This is your head. This could be your right shoulder. Could this be your right shoulder on the market? Or is just this a continuation of a downtrend? Right there. These things go both ways, guys. Is it a right shoulder, or is it just a lower high and a potential lower low? It goes both ways. You can't be just 100% certain on these types of technical setups. What you can be certain of is that there's going to be some type of demand in this area, right? There's going to be something in this 85 area that could hold AMD up slightly. You can already start seeing it. You see right here, AMD is finding some demand off that 85. What I would be looking for is whether AMD rejects the previous day low, right here around this 88.30. If AMD pops into this and rejects, then that's no good, right? That's not bullish at all. So you would need to see at least a break of these previous Monday lows around this 88.34 area to look for upside. But you definitely know there is demand down here at 85. Not sure you're going to get an actual move off of it, but that is definitely something to watch. We can go ahead and pop into Nvidia now that we're on the chip stocks. It looks the exact same, guys, right? So if I go to the daily chart on Nvidia, you can see that this is the exact sort of setup. You got your it's a little bit more sloppy, I will say. Let me say that real quick. It is a little bit sloppier than AMD. It looks weaker than AMD because here's your left shoulder really on Nvidia. If we're talking inverse head and shoulder, this is your left shoulder on Nvidia. And Nvidia broke that. So if we're talking inverse head and shoulder here, you should have held 160, and you clearly did not. So a little bit sloppier than AMD here on the daily chart. You can see we are trying to hold around these wick lows, around this 153.50, which is maybe a level to watch out for. I don't really trust it that much here, to be quite honest. You have your lows here of around 144.75, and then you have your lows here of around 140.50. If I go to Nvidia, I'm really just focusing this on the shorter term time frames for me personally. If I go to the hourly chart over the last few days, sorry guys, get this looking pretty for us here. You can see we're in demand, right? You can see we've held this 153 area. Let's just call it 153, 154. What I'll be watching for across many, many stocks today, guys. There's so many stocks that are doing this exact same thing. Please go to the hourly chart of whatever stock you're looking to trade today and look to see if you see this, because it's happening across the board everywhere. You can see that you have, a pretty weak push. And if you do not break the previous day lows, you have to look for rejections. Nvidia, AMD showing the same thing. Tesla, same exact thing, guys, right? Apple, potentially doing the exact same thing. So these stocks are looking very similar, and you do not want to get too aggressive before you break these Monday's lows. You just don't want to get too aggressive before you break some of these Monday lows. Amazon looks similar. AMD and Nvidia, very clean, and you can see they're actually starting to reject right now. So just read the technical, guys. Don't come in with any bias. I am reading technicals here, and the technicals, you're making lower lows and lower highs. That is a bearish technical setup, and that's how I look at this right now. Until that shows me different, until that proves me otherwise, right, then I will change my bias. But if I am seeing this, if I am seeing potential rejections here, then I am going to continue to look that way until basically what technicals are, guys. It's a pretty funny saying. I mean, you hear it sometimes. It works until it doesn't. That's really how I look at my trades. It works until it doesn't, and that's when you take your loser. And as long as you have risk management, that loser is just another drop in the bucket that you now go ahead and look for your next setup. If the technicals continue to work, I continue to trade it. If they continue to work, I continue to trade it. Until it doesn't, then I take my loss. I'm not scared of taking a loss. I'm not scared of being wrong about a technical play. If it's wrong, it's wrong. I move on. I take my loss. I'm not in it with any size that's going to blow up my account. So that it is what it is, right? So if the technicals are showing me potential rejections here, I'll take it all day. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work, and that's it. I'm not scared to be wrong about something. It's just you got to just trade the technicals. So that's that. That's Nvidia. Next, Square. Same exact thing on Square. Literally the exact same thing. Right here. Look at this. So, Square, break. Trying to retest previous low, right there. And if we move up to the 70, 71, I would be looking for this, right? Trade the technicals until they don't work. Technical analysis would tell you that if you trade back into this 71 area, right? If you trade back into this 71 area and you trade back into a previous double bottom support, you would tend to believe, and technicals would show you over time, that there are possible rejections, right? That's what technicals would say. So where else do you see that happen? Let me go to the 4-hour chart. Let me show you where this has happened in the past on Square. You have a previous support. right here, right? You had support right here, and you bounced off of it. You broke below it. You rejected. You rejected. You rejected. You break below. You reject. You reject. You reject. Maybe it happens 3 times again, and you break another low. What happens next? Previous lows. You reject. You reject. My chart's going to be an absolute disaster after this. You reject. Right? It's the same thing over and over again. Break it. Reject it. Reject it. Make new lows. Right? Same exact thing over and over again. Play it, play it, play it, play it, play it until it does this and you take your loss. Right? Okay? Very easy. Shows it all the time. That's what I'd look for. Let's go ahead and delete these. All right. Remove drawings. Clear drawing set. Oh, I don't know if I want to clear it all, though. All right. Yeah, let's just clear it. I'm just going to keep this for myself today because this is a play that I'm watching. Okay? That's what I'll be watching. All right. That's Square. Amazon. Amazon. So, yeah, I mean, Amazon's holding this 127. This is why I exited this position yesterday. I didn't really like the 127 hold. I took my, I think it was like 90% around there on this Amazon put. So congrats, guys, if you traded this. I took it off. I didn't like the hold of 127. It was about time. I mean, we have 2 days till expiration. I'm not going to hold that. So you guys can see previous rejection in this general area. Excuse me. And we are now turning that into support, right? So previous rejections into support. That is showing you that there is some demand in this level. So you have to pay attention to that. Now, what could you potentially see here on Amazon? If you guys go to the hourly chart, you could potentially look for the exact same thing that we just did on Square. Rejection, right? Maybe another rejection here. You break it. Turn that previous level into a rejection, right? So you can see we already done it once. You have previous lows here. You have a rejection here. Do you push again into that level and reject? Or do you break it? That's what I'd be watching for. You know, I would be a little bit careful shorting into the 127. You can clearly see that's a support level. So do I really want to short into 127? Not really, because there's probably some demand down there. I would probably wait for the break and maybe the retest to short this 127 level. Right? I'd look for 127 to turn into a rejection point. Then I have my confirmation. All right, so watch out for Amazon 127. Just want to let you guys know I closed that position. CL. So I just want to point out the CL today, guys. The CL is sort of rejecting this 95. You can see we've turned this into a little bit of a rejection point, and which was previous support, right? CL is doing the same thing I talk about for the whole, first 30 minutes of this live stream. Previous support, triple bottom support. What has it done? It's turned it into a rejection point. Very clear, very technical, very easy. You see it all the time. So just wanted to point this out. I'm not getting into any type of energy plays personally because, energy is a little bit, there's a lot of news focused on energy right now in the oil sector. So I'm going to stay away a little bit. But if you want to see more continuation on the CL, you got XOM rejecting a pretty key level here around this $100 level. Very clear rejection of 100 on XOM. Very clear rejection of 85 on XLE. Very clear rejection of 164 on CVX. Oxy is sort of pulling back to the previous highs. So maybe you hold here, but, that's going to depend on the energy sector. Just wanted to point that out. A little bit of downside on the energy sector this morning. Keep an eye on it. See how it influences the market. That's that. All right, Meta. So, Meta. What's it doing? It's still moving up, isn't it? Holy crap. Yeah. So, Meta, if we go to... wow, really outperforming. 4-hour chart. Hopefully I don't miss this one. Support, and support. So if there's ever an opportunity to go long, if you want to trust this channel, I would assume it's pretty soon. If you want to try to catch something like we've seen here in the past, something like this, like this. I don't know why I don't have this one circled. If you want to catch, this move, this move, this move, right? If you've seen what this is done in the past, it could. The only thing I'd say, guys, right? The only thing I would point out is there's always a possibility of this move not holding up. Look at this one right here. See this bounce off demand on Meta? Look at what it did the following day. It pulled right back. So just be careful. I'm not, I'm going to wait for the market to align with this. Like I said, I'm not really interested in longs until I see some serious strength on the overall market, which we could see today. And if we do, then I would definitely be looking for Meta to the upside. So support, 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 support. Once again, you're in demand. Do we get upside off that demand? You're seeing it already in the pre-market very clearly. You're seeing it very clearly here in the pre-market. So watch out for Meta to the upside. If the market's strong, that's definitely a top candidate for me for the upside. Yeah, you got Shop as well. Shop's also doing that similar. You guys can see Shop range, same thing. So yeah, big demand zone. This entire zone is demand between 30 and 32. Do you get another demand bounce? Same exact thing. All right. That is what I have, but we're going to go over a few more stocks here. If you want to press that like button, that would be fantastic, guys. I'd greatly appreciate that. Show your support for the stream. Get us to Coinbaby, thank you. $1.99. You don't have to do that. Thank you so much. I appreciate the donation. And thank you for being here, and thanks for all your contributions in the chat. Very appreciated. So if you guys want to press the like button, that'd be great. Support the channel. Thank you guys for being here, of course, again. And as always, I reached out to a company yesterday for the 50,000 subscriber giveaway. So it's in the works, and I'm trying to get some pretty nice stuff. It's going to be trading related. It's going to make your office pretty cool. It's going to be good. So stay patient on that one, guys. All right. Is this all from today? I guess so. All right, let's look at them. Oxy, we already looked at. AMD, we looked at. CRM, all right, here we go. Lulu has earnings. I don't look at stocks with earnings. There's no reason, okay? All right, so CRM. Doesn't CRM recently have earnings? No, okay. All right, so, yeah. CRM, you guys can see triple bottom, right? Same thing, channel low. So same thing as mind blank. Meta. Same thing as Meta, same thing as Shop. Channel low. You gotta wait for the market though. Nvidia's breaking down. What's going on with Nvidia? Everyone's freaking. Oh, okay. What's going on with Nvidia here? Any news? You guys see news on Nvidia? That's nasty. AMD's pulling. What's that doing to the ES? Not much on the ES. What about the NQ? A little bit on NQ. Yeah, what a push. What a push to the downside of Nvidia. If you guys see news, let me know. Let me see if I find anything over in the Discord. Any news in Discord? I don't see anything. Just chips, maybe. More chip weakness. There's got to be something, but yeah. All right, let's continue. CRM, just channel low, guys. I would say the exact same thing here. Just watch for the channel low to hold. If it does not, then downside. If it does, the market, you need to wait for the market to get a little bit stronger here, right? You can see lower on Seagate Tech guidance. Okay. So just a chip-related move. All right, so yeah, guys, same thing, but you need to wait, right? You don't just buy here. You don't just buy here and hope that it bounces. You got to see some green days, right? Look at what these stocks have done when they bounce off this demand. Look at the days and just sort of get clues from it. Look, you got nice green day here. You got a nice green candle here. Some nice green candles start to form, right? You haven't seen that yet. So you got to stay patient, right? Trading's 95% patience, 5% execution. This is patience time. Wait for those green candles to come in. AbbVie, it's sort of chilling here at this low. I'm a little bit concerned about it. If it breaks down here, you just got to watch healthcare, guys. XLV, you need to wait for some. If you want to see AbbVie to the upside, you got to wait for something strong here because it's not showing it yet. So healthcare is still not bouncing off demand, so you got to wait. BLK, BlackRock. I mean, you got the 50, 100 below. You got this previous low right here. It looks like you probably want to see 660 hold right here. 660, 661. You got a previous support into a rejection, into a rejection, into a support. So I'd watch this 50 SMA, 100 SMA, and 660 area. Okay? That has to hold. 5 below. Yeah, just chopping, man. Choppy. Maybe a break and retest of this 125. You could watch for that. Potential break and retest of 125. I would look for that. That has to hold if you want to see upside. MDB, MongoDB, that just had earnings, I believe. Or does it have earnings today? This has earnings today. We're not looking at it. It has earnings today. Okay, ignore that. Okta. MMM. I'll look at MMM for you. I saw you ask a few times. Okta. That looks like a bear flag to me, sort of. Look at this 100 SMA rejection. Welcome to the stream at WT. Thanks for your support. Yeah, guys, this looks like a bear flag to me. Right off the 100 SMA rejection. I'd watch for downside here. Maybe you look at it sort of like this, right? This actually okay, yeah. Look at this. You can see you have a trend line, right? You have a trend line to the upside. You broke the trend line. Look at what it did when it came back into it. A perfect rejection of the trend line. So, yeah, definitely bear flag breakdown in my opinion there. AVGO, that has earnings today. So I don't think we're going to be looking at that. Where does it have earnings? Yeah, it has earnings coming up. Not looking at that one, and I'll go MMM for our buddy Carl. Yeah, it looks like it's dying to me here, Carl. I would look for... I think it had some news recently, so I would just look for, if you want to play downside on MMM, I would look for a rejection of 127. Look for the retest back into this level, look for it to turn into a rejection point, and then look for this to break down. Okay? All right, guys, that's all I got. I hope you have a fantastic day. If you want to trade live with me every day, be part of a trading group, very professional, very serious, very, focused on improving each other. If you want to be there, if you want to hang out, it's down in the description below. It's where I trade every day. I'm on the live stream till around 12 o'clock, 12 o'clock until things start to slow down. And then obviously I'm there in the chat, but that's sort of when I try to get away from the screen. If you want to get the technicals every single morning in a free Discord, the technicals on the futures down below, it says free technicals. Thank you guys for being here. Press the like button. Subscribe to the channel, guys. One day we'll get to 1,000 likes. Maybe make it today. We'll see. That's the goal. 1,000 likes. Which day? When do we get 1,000 likes? No sound? Turn your mic up. Turn your volume up. All right, guys. Have a great day, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Peace out.